Would you eat a person if you could?
Would I eat a person if I could?
Yeah. Like if you could go to like Morton's and they were like, do you want the filet mignon or do you want the Cajun strip steak? Or would you like some of Pete? And you're like, well, what kind of life did Pete live? Well, he's farm raised, grain fed, worked out every day. Not too tough though. Lots of cardio. And well, how do you prepare Pete? Well, we can sous vide him up. I would order Pete. I would totally eat Pete.
If it was the
now
norm,
we force-fed Pete a diet of nothing but vodka, giving him a fatty liver. This is Pete foie gras.
So anybody in Russia. Yeah, if it was the norm to eat people, I'm sure I would. If it was legal in some country to eat people and I was allowed to film the thing and put it up online, I would probably do it there too.
I'd only want a couple bites just because I'm pretty sure it's going to taste like pork.
I'm going to clean my plate.
I feel like the person that Kyle described, right? All that cardio, all that exercise, not good.
No, they stretched him.
I want to eat children, right? That's where the good food is.
The veal.
Right? Taylor thinks he tastes the best, but have you ever seen a chubby little toddler, Taylor? That's where it's at.
But you're going to cut in, it's going to be all that yellow fatty globules thing. There's going to be no muscle. When you eat a nice big steak, that's muscle tissue.
I want one of those badass black kids who's like 8 years old, throwing up gang signs and beating the other kids up. Like he's like a super predator in the fucking third grade. I want to eat him. Yeah.
Right, Hillary.
Yeah, you got it.
So, see, but I don't know. I'm not sold on the kids thing. You don't want an old person. Certainly not an old person.
Oh, no.
You'd have to like make ground old person if
you're going to turn that into chicken noodle soup or something,
like a bolognese sauce or something like that. If you for an old
chicken
person.
Noodle soup.
No, it wouldn't be chicken noodle soup. It'd be
Franklin's noodle soup.
It'd be Franklin's noodle soup, and it'd have a picture of him looking all sad on the can.
What I don't understand about your guy Pete, Kyle, is how are you going to coerce a guy to get into such good shape if he knows he's going to be slaughtered?
He doesn't. He thinks
he knows. We're going to tell him every day. You can taste that fear. And
nobody works out more than prisoners, right? The guys have life in the pen, and they just do their burpees every day, according to YouTube.
Yeah.
If we ate prisoners, that would solve a lot of problems.
I think if we ate the dead, it would solve a lot of problems.
Well, you don't want to eat the living.
Yeah, well, dead.
No, like instead of slaughtering a man and eating him, like just wait. Go to the hospital. The people who've been in car crashes and stuff, that's got to tenderize you. Any kind of sort of traumatic injury. I don't want somebody who's like dying slowly of cancer or something. You don't want that person. That's got to taste
Kyle
awful.
Was our leader, we'd have COVID-21 next year. You're just like, it turns out if you eat dead people, they give you what they had.
Well, you got to cook it.
They're
you can't
dead
eat
for some
rare
reason.
Pete.
I wonder, weren't the bats cooked? I don't know.
Maybe just
the bats weren't cooked. Those fuckers were probably drinking the blood out of a thing's asshole. You know how those people are. People.
This didn't start from a bat. It started from a virology lab in Wuhan.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Trump.
Do you think it's more likely that someone made a bat soup clearly for the first time in history and it came from that? Do you think it's more likely that it came from the Wuhan virology lab that was 2 miles downstream of where they announced the wet market that it was created in? Or do you think it's more likely that it came from a form of market that's been used for tens of thousands of years in the same area? Which one do you think is more likely?
I think it's the second.
Let me answer that for you. Let me answer. I watched a whole bunch of Alex Jones highlights on stream, and first of all, they're hilarious. And something that he does is he will have guests on. There was a whole montage about 10 minutes long of him bringing like another InfoWars guest or someone on his show, and just being like, "Now you're the resident expert in xenoestrogens that are coming out of things like plastic bottles and whatnot. What can you tell us about what the elite, the globalists, are doing with this?" And he'd be like, "Thanks so much for having me on, Alex. I'm really excited to talk about it." So really the big thing they're trying to do here is make it so that the average... Now, exactly, I know where you're going with that. Let me just finish that for you real quick. What they're doing, folks, is... And then he'll go on for 10 minutes, and the guy will be like, "Exactly, Alex. And another thing to add..." And real quick, before you jump in, he is absolutely bullheaded, and it is hilarious.